We're making fun of the Cleveland Browns. We're making fun of the Hawaiian leprechaun Dillon Gabriel as he attempts to throw as many hospital balls as possible to get Stefanski fired. We're on Shedeur Sanders' watch as well. And what's new today is more Stefanski trying to dance around and tiptoe the inefficiencies of Dillon Gabriel, and then also the Grinch, Mary Kay, dropped some knowledge on yesterday's practice, and the radio stations are still running wild with this story. Before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now because the Browns are going to break your heart this Sunday. They're going to do it all season long and next year. And between that game and the next game, I'm going to be here to get you right, making fun of the Browns, making fun of their quarterbacks, making fun of this team, because that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do to get to the next day. Click that button. Stop missing out. Stefanski keeps dancing around, tiptoeing Dillon Gabriel in the media, but he won't come clean that Dillon Gabriel sucks.
At the time of the draft, both you and Andrew said that Dillon Gabriel, that his height that didn't show up on college game film.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's showing up now? I mean, his inability to get the ball to the receivers.
Yeah, I understand the question, Tony, but I would not characterize it that way. We need to play better as an offense. Certainly, there's areas to improve for a young quarterback, but it's really on all of us to improve.
Bernie Kosar's on board. Let's hear what he has to say. Kosar, longtime Cleveland Brown legend, has some encouraging words about Shedeur Sanders.
Bernie, is there such a thing as maybe not being ready to go out on the field?
It is a possibility to not be ready. But, again, I like to see Shedeur. I want to see him. You will see him. But we tend to massively ruin young men when they play prematurely, void of talent. So I love that young man. I want to see that young man succeed, just like I want to see Dillon Gabriel succeed. I just think you're going to stunt his growth.
Shedeur was back at practice. This is a step in the right direction as we're waiting for him to get his first start as a Cleveland Brown.
Right now, Mary Kay, how significant is this injury?
Well, I watched him throw the ball yesterday and move through practice in the early part when we're allowed out there. He was upbeat. He was dancing between reps like he always does. He brings a sort of a light vibe to practice all the time. And, he looked like himself to me. He didn't look to be in any pain. And, I think they're just kind of taking it slow with him to try to get him to Sunday, which is what they would like to do. In a perfect world, they want him to be QB2 on Sunday, and they're moving towards that. So I think that's the plan. And my guess is that that's what will happen. But I also wouldn't rush it. If he has any kind of back discomfort whatsoever, I would go ahead and keep Bailey as the number 2 right now. There's no rush to have Shedeur be the number 2. I actually think in terms of somebody coming off the bench and getting thrown into a game cold, that Bailey might be best suited for that role just because he's done it so many times before. And when you see Shedeur play, you want him to be in sort of ideal conditions with a game plan designed for him.
We already know Dillon Gabriel is not the guy. He ain't it. He ain't the franchise. So why do we keep doing this? Is Stefanski thinking that they're going to win a Super Bowl with him? Like, is that in the range of outcomes?
I know they've had drop pass problems early on. I know they had offensive line problems early on. And I know that the former play caller has gotten criticism. But I really lay this at the hands of the quarterback. I mean, he's got to see the field better. And maybe that's kind of a motivation behind Kevin's move to give Reese the play calls. Maybe Reese can get him out of the pocket better and make him more comfortable so he could see the field better. But it's obvious that Dillon Gabriel can't operate an NFL offense from the pocket. He just can't see the field from what I see. There were no offensive line problems in New England. Okay, he had plenty of time to throw. He was not under duress, and he threw 9 passes to wide receivers. That you can't win that way. You can't even compete that way.
How many more games can we keep doing this? I get it. It's the Jets. They sold off half their team by the deadline earlier this week. It's going to be an easy win with that defense. Gabriel can suck and they still win, but still.
Look, the goal is to have Dillon Gabriel play really well, and so we don't sit here next week pointing fingers and coming up with silly conspiracy theories, because that's what we do on Sports Talk Radio about the quarterback.
Ross Tucker is the only person that is on Dillon Gabriel's nuts. He's a Dillon Gabriel sexual right now. That dude is the only one that can't tell that Dillon Gabriel sucks and has been horrible on the field. Last time he praised him. Now he's saying we haven't seen enough. What the hell is he looking at? And this is how he's been this whole time on NFL radio? Like, how's he got a job?
Because they have Shedeur, and everybody is very curious, anxious to see how he'll play. And as I said last week, I do think there's a pretty good chance he'll start a bunch of games this year. I think that is making people more impatient with Gabriel than they otherwise would be. I mean, what other rookie quarterback who's played well enough to win 2 of the first 4 games for a bad team, what would you guys be trying to get out of there so quick? I think it's way, way, way premature, too early to make any determination about Dillon Gabriel is my point. And I think if he were a first-round pick, which I know he's not, people would be, you'd be looking at the positives of what he's done as opposed to the negatives. All I'm saying is I don't know what Gabriel is. I tend to doubt he's a long-term NFL starter. To me, he seems like more of a backup, which is fine if that's what he ends up being. I just think you guys are a little bit quick for no reason to want to be making a change. I think, like I said before the bye, I'd give him 2 more games, see how he does these next 2 games, and decide after that whether you give him any more games after that. But then that would be 6 games, and then there'd be, 7 left? So, you still might have a season in which Shedeur Sanders gets the most starts, which seems like what people want for, any number of reasons.
Shedeur doesn't need to play. His stock is looking good. I just came up with this take yesterday, but his stock is looking good if you look at it from this perspective. He went wire to wire from rookie camp all the way through training camp, has a good preseason game. You can look at that last preseason game against the Rams, and you can see all those guys got cut, and we're 50-50 on preseason games. We got this tape from training camp that the Browns allowed the beat writers to get. Everything's really looking good, and we're looking at this Browns organization here. They weren't here for development, and he's looking solid, and other teams now are busted up at quarterback, and they look at him as another option if the Browns decide to draft a QB.
Shedeur should be inactive on Sunday. Oh, that was such a fake thing that you just did. Oh, my God.
Oh, my
this
God.
show has lost all credibility.
Oh, good God.
You cheap slut. I cannot believe you just did that.
Oh, I just projectiles spat out my coffee. Wow. Wow. Tell me he didn't just say what I think he said. I got a host saying the craziest things, and then what do you want me to do?
Well, because I know how sensitive people can be, and I just agree with Mary Kay. He didn't practice on Monday. I know he was limited yesterday. You guys really want him to be out there cold? Do you really want him to be out there? Come on, guys. Shedeur fans, come on. You really want him to be out there cold? Is that how bad you want him to play? Good God. Don't you want to put him in a good place? Don't you want him to be in the best place possible? Come on. Believe me on this. You want him to go out there? Maybe his back's banged up. Just put Bailey Zappi in if things go to hell on Sunday. They very well could go to hell. We'll talk about it next week against the Ravens, maybe with Shedeur. Is that such a terrible thing to say? Am I a hater? Am I a hater of him if I say that even though I like the guy? Is that so wrong, Cleveland? Is that so wrong, Shedeur? I think Browns fans are like, yeah, I mean, what the hell? But I think the Shedeur fans are, I'm getting ready for it.
Stefanski is getting fired. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, they may sneak out a couple more wins, And I get it. This was supposed to be a regrouping year, but it was like that for the last 5, 6, 7 years.
I don't, just because they don't have their quarterback yet. And it's really hard to hold someone's feet to the fire when you're cycling through quarterbacks, when you're starting rookie quarterbacks, and when you're just waiting for the next rookie quarterback to come by. So I really don't think that this was a season in which they were expecting Andrew and Kevin to take this team to the Super Bowl. I really think that this was a season in which they were retooling and kind of hitting the reset button a little bit and trying to win as many games as they possibly could in the beginning. But it didn't work out the way anybody wanted to. So, no, I don't think that Jimmy is poised to fire Kevin after the season. Now, having said that, you never really know what an owner is thinking, and you never really know how things go at the end of the season when you do your after-action report and you all sit down and you put your heads together. So I can't sit here and guarantee that's not going to happen, but I really don't think that's what the vibe is.
And they're never getting right at quarterback. They're just never going to do it. They need to change from the top down as much as possible for this to work out. When you're looking at Shedeur Sanders, his best bet, it might be with another team. We've said that before. Hey, if you love him, set him free. Cleveland, if you love him, set him free. Let him go. Let him go. He should be starting by now. This is starting to get insane. Now I can make a case for the back. I can make a case for the back right now going into this week. But I also do not have all the information on that back either. And yet nobody else does. That being said, he should be a prime candidate to get a start soon. Earlier than this, even. Dillon Gabriel. You all know this, but if you're a newcomer here, every Sunday after a Dillon Gabriel start, I shoot a video. I just type in his name, Dillon Gabriel. That's it, into Twitter. And I scroll through the feed, and there's so many good jokes. So many good jokes. We tried to do that with Tyler Shuck since they were on bye last week. And we were able to get some jokes. There were some good ones, but not the heat Dillon Gabriel brings and not the amounts. People ask for Cam Ward. They're starting to ask for me to do different players because it is funny. The thing is, I don't think I can. Dillon Gabriel is his own case of embarrassment right now. I don't think you understand how bad this is. You see it in game, and you're maybe we can get right. I don't think you understand, how bad he's getting ripped apart and how comical it is. If you're struggling with the current stand-up comedians right now, after Dillon Gabriel plays against the Jets, or even during games, just type his name into Twitter. I don't know about the other social platforms, but type his name into Twitter or just wait for my video because it will be out probably somewhere that night. Make fun of Dillon Gabriel. He's getting ripped apart. I've never seen anything like that. And I think about the game prior, that Monday night game, Cowboys-Cardinals. I was I can't do that with Dak. I can't do that with Brissett or even Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's got some funny clips, but nobody is just firing away on their own, preemptively. Heat. And like I said, this is a coaching staff that is not attuned to developing players. Everyone's saying Stefanski's a good coach, and he's done some good things in his career. Who has he really developed? Now, there's probably someone out of the woodwork here. There's probably somebody. But the thing is, with this team, what has been developed at quarterback? And we saw the reps. There was no structure. No structure for these young kids. Gabriel included. I like to make fun of Gabriel, but I also feel bad for him because he's not supposed to be in the spot. He's supposed to be a backup. He's supposed to be where Shedeur's at right now. Just waiting. And Shedeur is supposed to be getting his moment. But the thing about these moments here, they did not let these guys, learn. They didn't let these guys even, fail in training camp much to learn from it. They didn't allow them to get a lot of reps. Gabriel got anointed a lot of reps, but they also, when he was sucking in camp and minicamp OTAs too, they did not push the competition between the two, and you had a good spot for battle. I don't know if they did not want the headlines for that. I do not know. I think Stefanski's just got his square peg and thrown in that round hole with Gabriel. I think that's what it is, and he doesn't want to wreck his agenda. But any other place, and let's take out football here. Like, say you got a factory and you're making widgets, and let's take away these guys' names. You got this one person who's been with the company for almost a year. You got a newcomer coming in, and that newcomer is stepping up, looking solid, looking good, just fast productivity. The person that you like, that's a suck up. They've been there for a little bit. You kind of want them to succeed, but they've been sucking. Any other place would have looked at that person and be like, hey, let's see what else this guy can do, this girl can do. What else can they do? Like, let's give them a little bit more opportunities. Maybe this is management material. Like any other place. That's where we were at here in training camp. And that's where, like, these jokes came to play. That is where we were at. That is what happened. Like, I can give you the grace of round 3 versus round 5 guy, and maybe you like this or that. But this came ahead in mid to late July, and even before that, definitely in OTAs. This came ahead. It started to come through. Like OTAs, we saw Gabriel get batted down the line, make some bad throw. There it is. Always in tune of when I'm talking about him with that throw and that clip. But training camp, if you gave grace from that, saying young kid, development, blah, 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 the heat should have been put on. Competition, at least. At least. I know people were calling Shedeur for this and that, QB1, QB2 early. But if you're giving a team grace and letting them go through the motions, that's one thing. But the indicators were there. They did not move on to it. You love them, set them free, guys. You love them, set them free. That's the thing about that. If you're not going to develop, or set Stefanski free and get some change. Set Stefanski free. But he's probably going to get a free win this week. You got the Raiders coming up. That's another free win. You got Cam Ward coming up. That might be another free win with this nasty defense. That's another thing to pay attention to. So there's 3 more potential wins that are likely with how good this defense and run game is. And now you're looking at that. Got a change in play calling. This team might be bumped out of drafting a quarterback, and they're going to have to burn both first-round picks. And then you're not developing your young guys, see what they got. And now you got a day 3 contract here with Shedeur. And if he hits to that upside, you can use those 2 first-round picks because you got to fix that offensive line. You got to fix wide receiver. Like what? Like what? You could be stacked. You could be stacked. And with how you're developing quarterbacks right now, throughout my entire life, we know you ain't been getting it done, and you might have it on your roster right now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.